Hello, and thank you so much for joining me here on my channel. I'm going to be doing the Capricorn daily energy reading. As always, take what resonates, leave what does not, especially since this is a general reading. Okay, we're going to be looking at what you may be struggling with. Okay, there were two here. So we have the Nine of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles. And then I feel like two more. We have the Tower and we have the Eight of Wands. So these are the cards that we have that you may be struggling with, or you may be dealing with this right now, or this may be coming in for you. I feel that you're tired of waiting for money to come in for you. I feel that you're in a very negative space. I feel like you want to give up. I feel like you're frustrated. I feel like you're tired. I feel like you have tried so many different things and nothing has worked. I feel that you have to bring about this Tower, which represents changing how you're perceiving things, changing how you're looking at things. And I feel like you have to bring this in. And I feel like that's why I feel like these two are together, the Tower and the Eight of Wands, is I feel like that's something that you have to create within yourself. I almost feel like you're waiting for something to happen, but I feel like you're not taking things into your own hands, like you're not taking things into control within yourself. And I feel like you're frustrated and you're tired and that you want to give up because you've been waiting for this Ten of Pentacles, whatever that may represent. I kind of feel like it has to do with money or a career or a job or a business, or just stability in your life, because Pentacles can represent stability. And that you're tired of everything being so chaotic, and that you're tired of always feeling like you're missing out or things aren't happening for you. Advice from the tarot. We have the Six of Wands, rising above the situation, right? You taking control of the situation. We have the Page of Swords. So I feel that there are some things that you need to cut out. And I also feel like one big thing is you have to cut out your own negativity. As we look at the face on that Page of Swords there, like he looks very angry, he looks very frustrated. And the Page of Swords can represent having to deal with difficult things. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles. I love that. So definitely taking a closer look at, and then we have the Nine of Cups. Okay. I feel that it has, the advice from the tarot is you have the power to turn things around within yourself, and that you have the power to rise above this situation and to really cut out that negativity. Or if you feel triggered by something over here, that if you maybe set a time frame, or you have said, okay, by this time this has to happen, or this is what has to happen for me in order for me to be happy, or like I'm not going to be happy unless this happens or that happens. And I feel like you've put too many restrictions on it. And I feel like you just have to, the advice from the tarot is like, you just have to enjoy each day, which I know that sounds crazy. I know it can sound frustrating. And you're like, what are you talking about, Joe? Like, what do you mean enjoying each day? I have so much on my plate. I have so much going on. Things aren't happening for me. I feel like my life is chaotic. As you see, you're getting caught up in that tornado. You're getting caught up in that spiral of, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, I don't have this, I don't have that, right? And all of this negativity. And you have to look at that, which I feel this is what this is saying right here, is to rise above all of that and say, what can I control, right? What can I deal with? Just like, kind of like me today. I have so many things that I need to get done today, and it's just like I ended up doing these other things, and I'm like, I haven't gotten done what I needed to get done today, and I'm kind of frustrated. And I'm like, you know what, right before I went to do these readings, I'm just like, you know what, be thankful and grateful for everything that you've gotten accomplished today and everything that's happened so far, and to calm yourself down and to just focus on what is your next thing that you want to accomplish. For me, it helps a lot that if I have a lot of things on my plate is not to look at everything that's on the plate, but say, okay, what's the next thing that I need to do? What's the next thing that I need to get done? Instead of feeling overwhelmed. So I feel like it's kind of figuring out, okay, what can you control? Is there someone that you are around, or do you feel this pressure from someone, or are you putting pressure on yourself? If I know Capricorn, which I'm a Capricorn sun and a Capricorn rising, is we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to have everything done perfectly, to have it done on time, to have it done the way that we want it to be done. And we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and we put a lot on our plate because we say, oh, I can accomplish all that. But then things happen, or you get derailed, or you get focused on something else, and then you can get frustrated. And it's like, okay, well, as I've said before, set yourself up for success and only put on your plate what you truly feel that you can handle. And I feel like that's what the tarot is saying here, is rise above the situation. Maybe write down on a piece of paper, write down that list of what it is that you're feeling overwhelmed by, what it is that's making you frustrated. Is it things that you're just doing within yourself? Or is it pressure that you feel from outside people? Are you letting that pressure from outside people get to you too much? And is it time to just let that go and say, you know, I'm working on, you know, the best that I can work on? And I feel like maybe taking some of that pressure off of yourself and take a closer look and say, okay, what's the most important? How can I prioritize? What needs to be done today? Is everything that I need to get done really that important? Do I have to get it all done today? You know, or do I have to, you know, how can I take things off my plate? How can I make things better for myself? And I feel like that's what the advice from the tarot is. And get yourself back into that Nine of Cups feeling, and that abundance feeling, and kind of that calmness, and say, you know what, I got this. I got a lot going on, but I'm going to prioritize. I'm going to set things up. I'm going to not let things bother me that I can't control. I'm going to restructure things. So I feel like this tower, I just feel like this tower is, you know, what can you do to restructure things for yourself? Sometimes things come up. Like this morning for me, I had to contact the dental insurance, and you know, that took like an hour to an hour and a half of. And I kept getting frustrated, and it's like, no, like, calm down. You can figure this out. Like, you will resolve this, and this will be fixed. So that's what I did. I took a deep breath, and I had an extremely helpful person on the phone with me, and she helped walk me through everything, and I got everything figured out, and I was so happy. And I was like, okay, I got that done. Even though I wasn't planning on doing that this morning, but you know, sometimes those things happen. And kind of realizing, okay, sometimes these things happen. So, you know, do I need to reshift of what I need to prioritize or what I have going on? It's you taking control of the situation instead of having the situation take control of you. And I feel like that's what the tarot is saying, is look, take that closer look and say, how can you control that situation? How can you get yourself, right? Looking at how can you get yourself back into that Nine of Cups energy? How can you be like, okay, I need to calm myself down. I need to get things back on track. And again, setting yourself up for success. Let's look at the energy that wants to come in for you. Future energies, we have the Moon, all right, and we have the Lovers, and we have the King of Swords, and yeah, the Two of Wands. And then for overall energy, okay, I feel like these three, okay, yeah. So we have the Two of Cups, we have the King of Cups, and then we have the Death card. So for overall energy, it's like breaking those patterns that you feel are inhibiting you, and that maybe that's how you used to handle things before, is to get frustrated and to get irritated and to get angry, and then it just, you know, eventually it works itself out, and feel like you have to take everything on your shoulders. But I feel with this overall energy, with the King of Cups, I feel like the King of Cups is somebody who takes charge of a situation, and he focuses on what's important, and he lets go what is not important. He lets go of the emotions and the feelings and that are not working for him. And then with the Two of Cups, I feel like it's loving yourself enough to say, it's not good for me to put myself in this this energy of feeling frustrated and feeling angry and feeling mad and feeling overwhelmed and feeling like you want to give up, right? Getting yourself out of that 9 of Wands. You have the power to do that. And that's what you have to realize, is you have the power to change this, to change how you're handling things, to create this tower moment. And like I've said many times before, is that I love the tower because it's something is built on a false foundation, and something has cracks, and it's falling apart, and that it needs to be redone, that you kind of have to tear it down to the bottom and then build up stronger from there. The energies that are coming in for you is, I feel like with this King of Swords, it's like taking a new pathway to a more positive pathway where you feel that you are in the lead with the stag there, and the sun is shining on that stag. And you feel that you're more in control, and that you're looking out for yourself, and that you're feeling calmer, and that maybe things aren't clear to you, but you're able to say, you know what, I'm going to deal with what I know what to deal with, and I'm going to make the best choices for myself, and I'm not going to get overwhelmed. I'm not going to get worked up, because every time that I do that, it doesn't help me in the situation. It makes the situation harder. If you've ever noticed that when you start to get angry and when you start to get frustrated, then absolutely everything starts to bother you. Everything starts to make you frustrated, and it seems like it just seems to pile higher and higher and higher. But if you can, even if you just take 2 minutes and you pull yourself aside and you say, and you regroup and you say, I got this, right? How do I get myself into this 9 of Cups energy? What is it that's most important? Let me remind myself everything that I've already accomplished. And I feel like that's a big one, especially for me, is when I remind myself, okay, yes, you didn't get done what you had on your list today, but you got all of these other things done today that weren't on your list, but still needed to be done. So now you don't have to deal with those, right? Because you've crossed those off your list, but now you know what it is that you need to work towards. It's all about how you're looking at things. It's about how you're handling things. It's about, I just feel like it's having love for yourself, that you don't bring in this deception towards yourself and you say, I can't get things done, or the universe is working against me. The universe is really working for you, and you just have to see that path that the universe is trying to show you. Because sometimes we think it's the path that we're seeing, but it's really like that universe is trying to show you something different. And that's just kind of my outlook that I'm looking at, is that it's trying to show me something different. I'm trying to go over here on this path, and the universe is like, no, you need to go over here on this path. And it's like, you need to redirect yourself. You need to refocus yourself. And I just feel like this energy that's coming in for you is this sense of calmness, and you're able to analyze and look at things, and you're able to handle things in a different way, so that it doesn't get to this point where you get to this 9 of Wands energy. It's learning about yourself. It's learning about how can I handle things differently so that I don't get worked up, so that I don't get frustrated, so that I don't get irritated. Not setting myself up for failure, but setting myself up for success. Not putting so many things on my plate and saying, you know what, I can get it all done, but really you're stressed yourself out trying to get it all done. And to prioritize things, that's definitely a big thing. And does something really have to get done, right? And if it does, then put that first. And then if it doesn't, then rearrange it from there. It's just making life simpler, just making life easier. Just keeping yourself in that 9 of Cups energy. Oh, we have 2 here. Ah, perfect. Okay. So we have Parrot Spirit, watch your words, and Porcupine Spirit, time for beginner mind. So I feel, which I think this has come out before with the Parrot Spirit, is watch your words that you're telling yourself. Be more aware of what you're telling yourself. Are you telling yourself negative things? Are you telling yourself things where you feel frustrated, where you feel angry, where you feel anxiety? Are you putting yourself, because of those words that you're telling yourself, right? Also be aware of words that you're telling other people. Definitely, if we don't figure it out ourselves, if we start snapping at people, then it's like, oh, wait a minute, like I'm definitely worked up about something and I'm frustrated about something. Let me rein that back in, because I have something that I have to deal with. Before I start snapping at too many people and making this situation even harder, I need to rein that back in, and I need to refocus, and I need to calm myself down. And again, time for beginner mind. So that's perfect. And that's exactly what I was saying, is rein that back in and have that beginner mind and say, how can I get this back under control? How can I look at this differently? How can I get myself out of this cycle of feeling frustrated, right? And feeling angry. Let's grab some star dragons here for Capricorn. I feel like this one right here. We have challenge, standing up for your rights. I feel like this is a challenge, and I feel like it's standing up for yourself, right? Standing up for yourself and saying, I don't want to put myself in this situation where I'm feeling like this Nine of Wands and I'm feeling overwhelmed. I want to create this Tower moment so I can change this pattern that I'm doing. Sometimes we have patterns that we just naturally fall into, that we just naturally react a certain way to things, and it's just what we've always done, and we don't even think about it, and we're just doing it. So now I feel is kind of that time for you to kind of stand up and face this challenge and say, you know, every time I handle it this way, or I get into this frame of mind, it just makes completing my tasks or getting things done so much harder for myself. And I want to change that. I want to make life easier for myself, right? So I feel like this is what this reading is making life easier for yourself. And taking a hard look at those things and those challenges where you feel that you become overwhelmed, or you feel tired, or you want to give up, and say, you know what? Maybe I'm frustrated. I've been waiting and waiting for this to happen, but maybe the universe wants me to look at something else. Maybe I need to look in a different direction. Maybe I need to shift my focus, that I need to do something else, right? That I'm thinking that I have to go on this path, but the universe is saying, hey, I need to go on this path. For me, that's what helps me instead of getting frustrated. Yes, there are times when we have to stay driven and we have to stay focused and we have to push through those hard times. But there are also those times where we have to realize, okay, I feel like I'm fighting an uphill battle. And how can I make this the easiest way that I can? And what can I do to help myself in this situation? And maybe how I am approaching this needs to change for today. Next time it may be a different way, but for this challenge, for this time today, that looking at it in a different way and saying, how can I handle this differently? There's always a way to solve things. There's always, if you ask yourself that if you have things that you need to do you get them done? I have a feeling your answer is going to be yes. Sometimes it may not be the way or the time span that you had set up for yourself, but do you accomplish them and get them done? Yes, you do. And if you don't get them done, is it okay? You know, I would say most of the time it's probably okay, because if you prioritize what's most important, then the most important things have gotten done, right? And it's kind of like the extra things that haven't gotten done. Oh, transform. There we go. I love that, because that goes with the overall card, I feel, with the Death card, which the Death card was reversed. So the Death card was upside down, which I just noticed that. So the Death card was reversed so I feel like you're being stuck, right? So if it's reversed, then it's like the overall energy is that you're being stuck. So that's what's happening. But then with this card coming out, I feel like this represents the Death card. So it's almost like you've turned the Death card right side up. So it was, in the overall energy, it was reversed. And then it's like, because you're holding yourself back, right? That you're not transforming, that you're not changing, that you're not shutting doors, that you're not making a difference, that you're holding on to something. Because the Death card face up is like something needs to come to an end. Change needs to happen. And if it's reversed, it means that you're in this energy of holding on to something. And I love that this card came out, because it's like it turns that card right side up. So it's like, yes, transform, change. You have to realize that you are in charge of changing things and transformation within yourself, about exploring ways to make those changes and how to make those changes and putting the effort into making those changes and getting rid of the negativity. And I feel like you have to realize that you are in charge of that you have the power to make those changes, not sitting around and waiting for other people to change, because you're going to be waiting for a long time. Sometimes people will change and sometimes they won't. But why put all of your power into waiting for someone else to change? You have to accept the way someone is or the way a situation is and say, okay, this is what the situation is. So how can I create the best results moving forward? What do I need to do? We have book. So we have not, I feel like this represents knowledge and it represents learning, and it's about seeing and it's about figuring things out. I also feel like it kind of goes with the Eight of Pentacles, where you're taking a closer look and you're figuring things out. Knowledge, learning, definitely learning about patterns that you've had in the past and learning about what are the patterns that you need to change. What are the patterns that you need to do different? What are the things that sometimes we feel like we're more in control if we hold on to the anger or the frustration or the irritation. Like we feel like we're in control, but really we're not. We've given up control to those feelings, to that anger, and to that frustration. And when we say, like, when you say, like, I want to be powerful and I want to be in this Nine of Cups energy, I want to be happy, I want to feel calm, I want to have less anxiety, right? That I don't want to get worked up about it. That you're choosing to say, I want to be in the Nine of Cups energy versus the Nine of Wands energy. We have message in a bottle, and then we have never-ending story. The message in the bottle is to end the never-ending story, right? That if you feel that things are repeating, like you're always going through the same patterns and you're always fighting that uphill battle, that the message in the bottle that you're not hearing that is trying to get through to you is that you have the power to change it. You could hear it a million times, right? Maybe you've heard this message many times before, but it just hasn't clicked. But maybe something about this reading, it will click for you. And you're like, you know what? This time it clicked. This time I heard the message, right? That it's not trapped inside of a bottle. That it's not trying to get through to me and that I'm ignoring. But that I'm actually hearing the message that it's up to me to change the never-ending story. That if I don't like the way things are going, I have the power to make those changes. I have the power to watch my words, to face this challenge, to transform, to have the beginner mind, to get rid of negativity, to focus on Nine of Cups, right? Focus on abundance and happiness, and to empower yourself. Doing this is something that takes time because it's really easy for us to fall into old patterns. It's easy, like I said, sometimes we have these patterns of negativity that we've just naturally done for so long. It's like driving a car. You don't really think about it. You just do it. And that it's when we're more aware of looking within, right, with this Eight of Pentacles and being more aware of and taking a closer look and saying, you know what? I need to hear the message and I need to stop my own never-ending story because I'm just automatically reacting to something when something happens and I'm not really giving myself a chance to approach it differently. Let's grab another card. Choose wisely. Perfect. Choose wisely in the direction, right? Choose wisely how you handle this situation. Choose wisely how you deal with this situation. You know what? Sometimes it's a lot of work to make those changes. Sometimes it just seems easier. Oh, I'm just going to be angry and I'm just going to be in my negativity right now and feel sorry for myself and just be frustrated, right? Sometimes sometimes it's hard to change those patterns and to really say I want something different and to put that work in. And it can be hard, but once you start doing that on a regular basis, then that becomes your normal pattern. That becomes regular. That becomes easier, right? Learning something new always takes some time. You got to give yourself time to figure things out and to work things through. And yeah, it seems like in this day and age, when we just look on social media, that things happen overnight. But it really doesn't. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. For some people, maybe it does. But I would say majority of people, that it's something that takes some time. It takes some time to change those patterns that we've become so accustomed to. Just a new way of thinking. Are you going to face this challenge, right? Are you ready to face this challenge and standing up for yourself and saying that if you're not happy with something, to create this tower moment and to make those changes within yourself. Take your control back and make the changes that you want to make, and not waiting for others to do the change for you. All right, thank you so much for watching, especially if you're still hanging in there. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I wish you the best in your journey.